What I want to do with us today is a little bit different. I want us to create an innovation experience together. But before I do that, I have to share this thing that just happened to me, because it was one of those, those lightning bolt moments that you have, like that aha thing, when you realize, oh my God, I got to start moving at the speed of innovation. I got to be a leader in change. So I have two boys, Liam and Ari. They're 13 and 9. And I took them up to this mountain town, Telluride, Colorado, for vacation over the summer. Now, before we go on, I should tell you that we're a no-cable family. We cut the cord about 6 or 7 years ago. So everything we watch, we do over streaming. So we're up at this Airbnb in Telluride, Colorado, and of course, it has cable. So are my children outside playing in the beautiful mountain air? No, they're inside watching TV. And are they at least, I don't know, watching the Discovery Channel? No, because I'm an awesome parent who also wants a little bit of downtime. They are glued to Cartoon Network. So I'm in the kitchen making lunch, and I hear Liam say to my 9-year-old Ari, "Swipe harder. You're not swiping hard enough." I go into the living room, and there's Ari, my 9-year-old, standing on a chair with his 2 fingers on the television, and he's trying to swipe the TV. Like, what? Liam looks up at me and he says, "Mom, where is the button on the remote for no television commercials?" I was like, oh, boys, we need to have the talk, don't we? This is a television. These are commercials. And in fact, when your mom was growing up, this is how we learned about all the new products that were being released. This is how I knew what to ask for birthdays and for holidays. And I learned really 2 things as a kid. I could either sit through them or I could mute them, but either way, I had to deal with it until my TV show came back. So they sat down on the couch, super mad. This is where I think the story actually gets even more relevant to us in this room, trying to manage through change and trying to shift things. So 2 weeks later, I take Ari clothing shopping. And we're in the shoe aisle, and we passed these shoes that kept showing up in the commercial. It was you might have seen them. I thought they were super cool. They were white, and every time you stepped on them, they actually lit up. So awesome. So I turned to Ari, and I'm like, "Ari, you want to try these shoes?" He looks at the shoes. He gets this very earnest look on his face, and he says, "Mom, those are the shoes that got in the way of my television show. I want nothing to do with that stinky shoe company." And he walked away. And I was like, oh my God, wait a minute, what just happened? Because I'm pretty sure that the marketing geniuses behind those ads that spent millions of dollars were not looking for that response from their target customer, kids my son's age. And it made me realize that I think as humans, in times of change, we sometimes tend to do what's comfortable, what's worked in the past, what we know. But the challenge is, and I think you've heard over the last couple of days, when we do what's worked in the past, when we stand still, but the marketplace shifts, we create this huge disconnect. And we see this time and time again. Now, you've heard a little bit about some of these. I want to show you a slide that I personally find very disturbing. Right? Oh, it just pains me to see what happens to these icons of industry. And you know what? Because I've met some of you now, I've had a couple drinks with some of you. What pains me even more is that there are people in this audience younger than me, and you're looking at this side and you're like, BlackBerry? When did a fruit go extinct? Like, I don't even understand. You've heard a lot about some of these companies. I want to add a layer, a twist to it as well. Think of this. These companies were the leaders in their industry. They were the ones that paved the way. Kodak created digital photography. BlackBerry created handheld. Sears started home shopping. But the common thread that they all have is that they rested on their success. They failed to see the need to change, and the marketplace left them behind. So what's once disruptors became the disrupted. And here's the thing about disruption. It takes you by surprise if you're the one not doing the disruption. Innovation happens on the front lines. It happens from the people who are interacting with the customers and the brand every single day. And those ideas it's amazing to me, the nuggets, the wealth of ideas and solutions that come from all these disparate people. So my request to you is, when you go back to your locations, maybe ask a few questions. I mean, what would happen if you asked the waitstaff how to solve those customer frustrations? What would happen if you talked to the cleanup crew, the people on the fringes who we don't often even think about, but touch our brand actually in a really big way. They're a part of Red Robin. What would happen if the next time I went into a Red Robin or any other family that maybe you talked to me for 10 minutes about what I'm seeing and feeling and what I want in the moment where I'm actually in the restaurant? Because the truth is, anyone can innovate. But for innovation to thrive, for Red Robin to thrive, everybody must be a part of innovation. And I think a big part of doing that is empowering us to recognize how we innovate. And I've been obsessed for years about why is innovation one of those things where we want it. We know research has proven that it's what makes us feel like we're contributing. It empowers us, that kind of whole creativity. So why don't we do more of it then? Or why do people not feel like they have permission for it? And I used to believe, I think like many of us, that in order to be innovative, you just, dared to step outside your comfort zone and acted fearlessly. That's all it took. I used to think it was kind of this left brain versus right brain. But in the 20 plus years of work in research, what I came to realize is that innovation is actually a whole brain experience. In fact, all of us in this room innovate. It's universal. We all do it. But how we innovate is actually unique to each of us. And there's actually 9 triggers of innovation, 9 ways that we as humans innovate. And it's the combination of the top 2 power triggers that create what I call your unique innovator archetype. That's how you innovate naturally. It's the wellspring of innovation and ideas that you can tap into when you need it most. It's what allows you to work smarter, not harder. It's what allows you to perform at your peak. Now, I know this conference is a lot about change and being that change leader when we go back. So in the spirit of abundance, and because the leadership team, when I talked to them prior to this, really wanted to make sure that we set you up for success, we want to give you the opportunity to understand how you innovate so that when you go back, you can be that change leader and guide those teams through all the things that you've heard is just coming. So I know that we don't have Wi-Fi, so just take a picture of this. If you text this code later, text that number, that code later, you'll get access to take the assessment. And if you want to have your team take it, by all means, please do so. This is our gift to you back so that you can start from that foundation of innovation as you're that change leader.